Shanti, and a very good evening to everyone. A warm welcome. Greetings of peace and love and light. And welcome to our program this evening, Creating Your Sacred Space of Peace. And today we understand the chaos and the uncertainty, the fear that has engulfed all of us through this pandemic. And so the physical protection, the mask, the social distancing that has been created on a physical level to help us, to protect us. What are we doing to protect our mind? This inner being, how can we create this vibration within our own self to protect us, our body, the home, this vibration of sorrow and sadness that has been created through this pandemic. So we have Anita Naidu and Janita Hargovan that is going to help us and give us different thoughts and ideas, of how it is that we can create this sacred space within ourselves to protect the mind, to protect the body. So first of all, I would like to start off with Janita. A warm welcome to Janita. And Janita is an avid practitioner of Raj Yoga meditation. And she is using this study of spirituality, this Raj Yoga, to help create this vibration, to create this feeling of sacredness within the soul, awakening our soul. And she has been practicing and incorporating the spirituality in her lifestyle for over 21 years and plays an active role at the Brahma Kumaris, which is part of the national coordinating team in Zimbabwe for the last 10 years. As a professional holistic health therapist, she uses spirituality to help bring a complete balance of well-being whilst teaching yoga and meditation with great zeal and enthusiasm. And I know this because I've had some experience with Janita, who has taught her meditation and yoga, and using so many different tools to really create this harmony and balance of the mind, of the soul. And so I hand you over to Janita, who will take us through this practicing of Raj Yoga and how we can help this internal, this inner being, and create this sacred spaces of protection. Thank you, Janita.
Thank you so much, Arunaben, and really appreciate this lovely warm welcome, and good evening to everybody who has joined us here today. This is such a wonderful and powerful subject or topic because it's very critical right now with the times we are going through, and more people need to start practicing this and implementing it in their lives more so, as the negativity in the world is like, you know, increasing like at multifold like pace. And, you know, to keep up with that or to cope up with that, we need to really start working with ourselves. So what does a sacred space really mean? And really for me, a sacred space is a very special place, something that's pure, clean, powerful. You know, it's a space that recharges and resets the mind. we hear of, and perhaps many of us visit these places, be it a holy place like a temple, shrine, an altar, we create one, or a church, mosque, or perhaps, any form of place of worship, or maybe even like a natural place, and something that has a beautiful waterfall, maybe a cave, or like have a Zen garden, which is maybe one of the most creative, meditative way of articulating a garden. And or maybe even going to a place where it's so remote and quiet and serene. And so, I feel that it's so important for us to like sort of understand why we need to have not only just an external sacred space, but also an internal sacred space. And so, like Sister Runa had just shared, that, the pandemic and the stresses and the fear that life has kind of just sort of brought up to surface, is really making us move into sort of a space where we need to now recognize what is important for me. I need to start filtering what is, going to help me, going to make me feel powerful, instead of feeling the opposite. Something that'll help me retune myself into the rhythm of life. So I think before we talk about how to create such a space, it's important for us to really understand what is energy and what is vibration. Energy to me is like that fuel required to make something or someone work. So be it in the form of the food we consume, or power, which is the electricity that we use to perhaps even run the computer that we're watching this talk through. So it's there, but we can't also see it. Similarly, what are vibrations? Now, vibrations are motions or movements at various speeds. Let's take, for example, a train. It's traveling at a very high speed past a house, and it'll create like a sense of vibration, or a tremor, or some sort of shaking. Now, it's these energies or these vibrations that something that is very much present and around us all the time, but we cannot see it. We cannot see it with the naked eye, but we can simply experience it. And, this feeling and this experience is something that happens more on an internal and a deeper level. So I need to just be mindful that energy and vibrations is something that is always around us, within us, and sort of all over the show. It's constantly changing, it's transforming, it's converting, into one form or the other. And so really, we just have to be mindful. Even we ourselves, this being that we are, that uses this body, we're energy. We are this energy field. We are in an energy field, and we are our own energy field as well. But this energy field gets impacted by positivity and negativity. And it's important to recognize this positivity and negativity. Many times, we go through life either ignoring these sensations or the inner signals that come. And we just like kind of want to swim through the waters, pushing hard so that we come out to the other side. But then what happens? If we are not aware of this, there is a chance and a possibility that we will crash. The body signals to us. Maybe it signals through us through aches and pains. It signals through us through maybe a headache, for example. And then we have mental exhaustion, like we're just so tired and drained all the time. And this kind of indicates to us that I'm picking up a lot of negative energy. And this negative energy or negative vibration, perhaps I'm in a negative atmosphere, is not very healthy for me. And so I need to take some steps or measures to change that. But how would I feel when I'm in a positive environment? So we kind of have to see both sides so we know what it feels like. So when I'm in a positive environment, I'm feeling so much more happier, so much more energetic. I'm feeling like I'm in control. I'm able to like, make clear decisions about things. And life feels like really a breeze. And so when I recognize that I'm in that kind of a positive space, then I need to pull myself out when I fall into those negative spaces into that positive. Sounds very easy theoretically, but when we are like trapped in that negative like whirlwind, it sometimes is quite challenging to pull ourselves out. But it's not impossible. We can definitely get ourselves out of it. But if we continue and don't pay attention to really fueling ourselves in that positive energy, then what will happen is we'll have severe or chronic illness. We can mentally crash, go into a depression. We can have breakups, relationship conflicts, and so on and so on. And we see this trend increasing more and more day by day. People are seeking this kind of help to say, well, I need to get out of this. I'm stuck in this rut and please help. But sometimes they don't know where and what to do. The lovely thing is that now there are so many more tools and facilities and provisions that are there to help us come out. But we need to know where to start looking. But even before that, we need to know that we are actually vibrating at a low frequency. So how exactly am I going to recognize, not really recognize, but release myself from this kind of negative energy? And how do I increase the positive energy within? So on a physical level, there's ways to do this. On a mental level, there's also ways to do this. And so being on a sort of a spiritual path, I'd like to just share a little bit of my experience, my personal experience, and then share the tips that I think can help us. Having an upbringing where you kind of we had sort of a temple in our home. And my mom always encouraged cleaning and decluttering and always shifting energy, shifting things from one place to another, never leaving it stagnant. Because if you leave something, let's say you have a pot plant or something in the corner of your room, and then you leave that there all the time and you just clean around it without shifting it, there is some dead energy being accumulated there. So you want to move that around. So anyway, going into just that process of cleaning and making sure that everything is dust-free, clutter-free, helps and creates a very positive impact on the mind. And so when I came onto the spiritual path, I began to understand that it was not only just about the physical aspect, the physical elements, but also there was sort of the emotional and the mental cleansing that has to take place. We need to go within and check what's happening inside and clean that too. So just as we have a cupboard out there with our clothes and possessions, and if we don't open that for years and years and years, and when we finally do, you know what you're going to find in there? Dust, cobwebs, maybe little bugs and all sorts of things. So you don't want that to happen. So you want to keep cleaning it. So the same thing happens in our mind too. In our mind, we also, if we don't attend to emotional issues, if we hold on to the past hurts, if we don't let go and we don't forgive and forget, it just makes things even harder. The hurdles and the challenges in life become even more harder to overcome. But if I work on those, then it becomes so much more easier. So how do I do this? How really am I going to create this space, this sacred space and place, physically and mentally? I'll just outline a few things, perhaps, my colleague here or my sister here who's joined us as well will share. I'm sure she'll share a lot more in detail, but I'll just give you a brief overview to kind of say, well, there's a lot of tools and instruments that we can use and practices as well. So meditation, of course, is one of the key practices that I use, and it has really made an amazing impact on my life in just changing my mindset and how I see things and how I view life. So it's something that has become part and parcel of my life. And when I look at the tools, so when we look at tools, and this like sort of came up so much more apparent to me as I ventured onto the holistic path and learned a lot more about holistic health. That is not only on just one, you don't focus on one element, but you have to focus on the whole being, the soul and the body. And so we need to bring balance and harmony to all our senses. What we smell, what we touch, what we taste, what we hear, what we listen to. And so having things like chimes and bells, even like water flowing, it really helps because it, listen to soft music, it kind of puts you into that mode of just relaxation and inner peace. And then also having a variety of colors. It's amazing how colors play such an important role in our life. You're attracted to some colors and some colors you don't like. It's because there's that energy that's coming out from that color and you need it. And so you want to be around it. Some colors uplift you and some colors actually bring your energy down. So colors play a very important part too. And then, creating a low light ambient room, putting a candle helps, and just to soften the whole like impact of the whole day's hard work. And then crystals are something that many use, and salts. I think now more and more there's the popularity of the Himalayan salt lamps, that a lot of homes I'm sure probably have. And it's just to like sort of draw that negative energy. Even like when I talked about the sense, I'm talking about the sense of smell and lighting up something that gives a nice aroma. And that aroma just like sort of takes you into a place or a space where you are so joyous and so happy and filled with love. It reminds you of those feelings. You create that. Then lighting incense sticks, burning sage is something that, one can use, camphor. These are some of the tools, I'm sure there are many more, but some of the tools that I use and I know that have worked in making sure that your space is sacred. Now, it's important for you to make a space, create a space. It doesn't matter the size. So like I said, that as I grew up, we had a little temple in our home. And so after coming on to meditation, we converted into a meditation room. And so that became the go-to place where when the mind was just too heavy, you go sit there in solitude, and just, that energy of just that peace that's full in that room helps the mind to calm down. If we don't create that, if we don't fill that space with positive energy on our good days, we say, no, I'll only go to my sacred space when I'm feeling heavy and tense, then there's nothing there to fuel you. So you got to keep working at it, keep building the energy, the atmosphere in that room all the time. So the more you do so, then when you have your low moments and you don't want to think, but you just want to go sit in that space, you just sit. And you'll actually feel recharged, rejuvenated after, you've spent a couple of minutes even, or 30 to 40 minutes there. And you've come out feeling like a new person, have more clarity in your mind. And also another thing that helps is like sitting early in the morning, taking that time out when the whole atmosphere outside is so much more quieter. When the atmosphere is quiet out there, you can be quiet here very easily. But if there's so much noise going on, TV in one side of the house, cooking on the other side, someone have a conversation on the phone in the other side, and then you're trying to sit and you want to like go inward and be at peace, and you had such a rough day, it's not going to be possible. You're going to have a battle. It's like a constant tug of war is going to take place. Instead, you know, you have to find some other means and ways at that time, like just listen to music or read something that uplifts you. And then you create that sort of inner space of peace. So that kind of helps. But yeah, the morning time is so, so pure and it's so uplifting that at that time you can draw universal power, draw power from the supreme energy, and just fill your soul, fill it without thinking much. You know, we think the whole day. So for a little while, just don't go into the things you have to do. Just keep that aside for a while and just draw and just like become like a leech or something that just sucks in the energy. So I think these are some of the tips that I can share with you. You know, when I sort of practiced, or I would say came onto the holistic path. I say that because I was very much in the IT field. And then like I shifted and I said, no, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying the energy here. I need something that's more empowering and more uplifting. And of course, with the practice of meditation, that just made it even more easier for me to create that shift and learn so much about this energy and how, you know, when we vibrate at a high energy, like with happiness and joy and contentment and compassion and kindness, we vibrate so much more higher. Whereas if we are in a state of anger and, you know, we are upset and sad, we're vibrating at a very low energy. There are some people who can see like an auric light and energy field around, and they can capture it. You know, there's that some kind of photography they use, and they can capture that light around you. And that proves to us that, yes, we do vibrate, we do resonate at certain levels depending on what's around me. So I need to be so much more mindful, so much more clear. But first of all, recognize, is this energy serving me? Is it benefiting me? If it's not, then I need to move away. I need to do something about changing it. I need to uplift. I need to change my thinking. I need to change my attitude. And as I start doing that, because why I say that is sometimes you can't get out of that atmosphere, but you can change how you live within that atmosphere. So when you go inward, you become your own best friend. You kind of house yourself in your own place, and so nothing externally can affect you. So by doing this, you are able to create your sacred space, visit your little physical sacred space that you created in your home or wherever you want to create it, so that that uplifts you, recharges you, and also mentally, inwardly. Create that inner silence. Create like a little corner in your mind to say, well, this is where I'm going to go into when I'm feeling low. And when you do that, I think that will just sort of boost you mentally, emotionally, and physically. You'll be healthy, happy, and I know they say healthy, happy, and wise, but yeah, for sure you will be, because you'll be able to make better decisions. So I think I have about this much to share with you. We'll probably share more when we have, if you have any questions at a later stage.
Thank you so much, Janita. Beautiful sharing and very helpful tools, as Lakshmi put it in the chat. Yes, all your questions can go into the chat, and after we have our next speaker, we can take up those questions. So really a big thank you to Janita. And yes, your vibration and energy was coming through. Definitely feeling that beautiful energy of yours that is coming through. So next up is Anita Naidu. And I've just recently been in contact with Anita, chatting with her on the phone, and just also feeling that vibration and energy coming through from her. Anita is practicing yoga and meditation, practicing yoga and meditation, a meditation teacher with her lineage in Ashtanga yoga. She's the founder of Yoga Me and offers classes to the community for holistic healing. She teaches Jalneti, pranayama, asanas, and offers healing through meditation, focusing on the 7 energy chakras. And Anita is based in Gauteng. So a warm welcome to Anita, and yes, just by chatting with you over the phone has really allowed me to feel the wonderful energies coming through from you and all the things that you do to create that energy of positivity, harmony, and peace in the body, so that we can balance, create a sense of balance and harmony within the body as well. Over to you, Anita. Thank you.
Om Shanti, everybody. Peace. I would like to ask you all to close your eyes, and I'd like you to take your left hand and place it on your belly button, and your right hand, I want you to place it on your heart. And as you close your eyes, I just want you to visualize in your third eye, focusing on your belly button. And as you take a nice deep breath in, inhale to fill your belly button, push the belly button out towards the front of the room. And then as you exhale, I want you to exhale deeply and take the last breath of air out of your belly button, pulling belly button to spine, and exhale gently out. And let's do another inhale again. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling from your nostrils. Inhale again. Pushing belly button out, and exhale. Empty from your belly and pull belly button to spine. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Thank you, Sister Janita, for introducing the topic for today. And you've given us quite a lot to take in. I'm just going to elaborate very little on it. So we spoke about the, Sister Janita spoke about the energy fields around us. So from these energy fields, I don't know if you can see this, you would notice that the energy fields that you spoke about are these energy fields that surrounds you like a lattice of energy. And in this lattice of energy, you can actually connect to yourself and you connect to the environment around you. That is why the environment is so important to get that balance of energy right. So if your lattice of energy is in a negative space, then you need to actually be able to take in from the environment and be able to cleanse your negative energy. And similarly, if your energy in the environment is off, you need to cleanse the outside of the energy with all your practices from the inside going out. So there has to be an equilibrium of energy between your environment and yourself. So what I want to touch on is how do you work with yourself? Because if you're an energy body, let's start with the Feng Shui of ourselves. The one is the cleansing of ourselves. we've done a mere breath with air. How important is the air nowadays? I mean, with COVID, we've realized oxygen, which we took for granted, is now so much more important in terms of life and how we use oxygen. So how are we using oxygen? Prana, how are we breathing, is so important in being able to cleanse ourselves. And with the pranayama, it's the action of breathing, is how you're breathing. So when you're anxious, your breath is very short and you are breathing rapidly, your heart rate increases. And then when you are calm and you're in serene and you're in tranquility with your meditation, everything is very slow paced, it's low, and your breathing actually becomes much more important because you get longer breaths and you're actually breathing in and taking in the air with every bit of delight, of every bit of oxygen and prana that's entering your body. Now, we have a right side of the body and a left side of the body. One is the ingala and one is the pinda. It's very technical. I'm not going to go technically very much into it, but as we breathe, Sister Janita spoke about the energy fields. It's the nadis that's in our body. So you get a goosebump feeling when you connect positively to something, or if you connect negatively to something, then you find like you feel like feeling that, oh gosh, you know, there's like somebody walked over my grave, the term they use, somebody walked over my grave kind of thing. So for us to, as energy beings, as Sister Janita said, we need to ensure that we are connecting with ourselves energetically in a sattvic kind of manner. And that is why it's important how we are taking care of ourselves. What are we eating? The Feng Shui on ourselves is what are we eating, the company we're keeping, what are we listening to, what are we watching that's affecting us on a personal level. And then when we've addressed that on a personal level and we've got inside of us, we are calm, we are together, we are connecting with ourselves, we then go into the environment. Where are we living? And now with COVID, we all are living, we're working from home, we're living at home, everything is done at home. And you are sharing that space, that sacred space with family members. So how are you sharing the space? The person that you're sharing the space with may not be in a positive frame of mind because of whatever reason. So your home then becomes a point in place where you have to balance these energies. And the techniques I've used to balance my home, because I have students coming in I teach yoga to students and I do healing as well. So how do I balance my home and how do I ensure that I clear the space around me as well? Because I'm human. I will have my good days and I will have my bad days. Energetically, I will be very high, and energetically, I can be very low. So I'm also living in this life that is throwing lots of balls at me that I need to balance as well. So what I found very important is first taking care of myself. And by taking care of myself, I mean also taking care of my home. So I have in my home, I have dedicated spaces to everything that I'd like to do. And I've set up different parts of my home in a way that brings joy to me. So if I'm in my kitchen, I've organized my space in terms of my cooking space with utensils and with spices and with ingredients that I love cooking with, and ingredients that's going to nourish me holistically, and things that I've cooked and have affected me, I've removed from my cupboards. So in your kitchen, go in and check out all the spices, all the sauces, everything that you have actually not used, or everything that you've used that's caused you a tummy ache, or if it's affected something in your body that's in your dorsals that actually caused an imbalance. remove it from your kitchen. So your kitchen is in a very sacred space where the ingredients you are using is actually ingredients that's going to make you and nourish you with wholeness and with longevity. So for instance, I'm glucose intolerant. It took me a long time to tame my tongue not to just eat about anything. So how are you controlling yourself there? Even I'm lactose intolerant. So listen to your body and plan your food carefully. Plan what you're consuming very carefully. And then if you go into your bedroom, is your bedroom cluttered? How do you remove all the clutter from your bedroom? Are you taking your computer into your bed and you're working from your bed? No. Create a space, a study where you sit and you actually get your work done, and then create a space.
Anita, I'm not sure.
Hello?
Signal is a bit
fading. Is it fading?
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Now I can hear you better.
You can hear me now. Okay, perfect. Just let me know. Sometimes the network, it does fade and come back in. And then in your bedroom, it's a place where you need to rest. So do you have the right kind of bedding that's going to make you have a peaceful sleep? And then do you have a sacred space in your home where you do your meditation? It could be just a little corner space where you sit. For me, I'm very lucky and blessed that I've turned one of the rooms into my yoga shala. I've got all my murtis, I've got all my prayer things, and then I've got all my other yoga stuff that I use when I do my teaching or I'm practicing my own yoga. And what I'd like to do now is, once you've created that space in your home where you've got dedicated spaces in your home where you can do dedicated things that you enjoy, even if it's in your garden, you've got your chairs, you've got your plants that you enjoy, you then have created a place where everything is devoted to some action or some form that serves you, that you can love, and you can love being in, whether it's in your kitchen, or whether it's in your lounge, or whether it's in your bedroom, or your bathroom, or if you're sitting and you're chanting. So I'm going to use the 5 elements now to guide you into what I do in my home. Let's start with wind and air. Wind and air is very uplifting. Just the breathing I took you through, and if you did it correctly with full breath of air, it actually lowered your heart rate and it actually lifted your spirits. So with wind and air, we need to ensure that the windows and the home and the doors in the home is open. So there's free flow of air going through your home. Every day there's free flow of air going through your home. So it cleanses anything that's stale, it removes it out from your home. Also, what you can do is use wind chimes. So you take your chimes and you place it at a window or at a door, and then when the air goes through, that sound actually creates an environment of, I think it's an environment of blissfulness or peace. Just hearing those bells ring or the chimes, you can actually get a very calming, soothing effect. And as that sound cuts through the air, it just cleanses whatever's in the energy that's around you. So that's one thing that I have is chimes in my home, opening up the windows, letting the air flow through. The other thing is bells. So if you're praying in the morning, or you just want to cleanse your air, just use a bell. Just take a bell and walk through your home, and just cleansing the bell through each room, each 4 corners. And as you go through each corner, just ring the bell and then push that energy in the direction of the window or an open door. And then as you walk through the door, just push the energy out of the door to a place where it's going to leave the house, or it's going to leave through a window. So you can use a bell. The other thing you can use is a thalam. So you can use a thalam as well. Anything that will create a sound that you can walk through your home, using your talents to create that energy and that sound that actually breaks through and uplifts the energy around you. The Tibetan bowls, you can use the Tibetan bowls as well. During your meditation, you want to cleanse the air around you, use your Tibetan bowls. That will also help you, neutralize the energy around you and actually uplift the energies. If you're a musician and you play a talam, you play any musical instruments like a tabla or a harmonium, while you are doing a bhajan or you're offering a hymn, you can play your tabla or you can play your harmonium to be able to create that energy sound, using sound and air in your home to actually cleanse your home. The other thing I like doing is chanting. So if you have a specific mantra that you want to chant, you can sit and chant loudly, or you can just use a universal prana sound, Om, just sitting and saying Om 108 times, or however many times you have for the time in that duration, to be able to just sit silently and let the echo of the Om resonate with the sound of the ocean. As you say your Om, start off with the A being quite silent, and as you're increasing to the Om, to the U, to the M, your sound increases as well. To the M, you finish off on the M on a very high, and then start off A, Om, Om, and as you go all the way to the end, it increases in vibration. And you can get your family members to do that with you as well, where you're now creating in your home with Om sound, you're raising the vibration. And as you do it unified together as a family, you feel the vibration in you. And as that vibration works in you and into your home, you just get this beautiful feeling of togetherness and bonding, and just automatically your energy rises. Because we have water in us. So when you start chanting, the water molecule starts resonating with that energy, and like the sound of the ocean, it goes up and down frequency. So then automatically you start feeling that cleansing happening inside of you, and then the sound just vibrates into your home and cleanses your home as well. Okay. Earth, I'm not going to use earth. So we use fire, we use wind and air. Let's use earth. Earth is very grounding, Mother Gaia, Mother. We have a garden. We can walk barefoot on the grass around your garden. You can walk barefoot in your home, just to feel Mother, just to feel earth, and to say thank you, and to tread softly and gently on Mother Earth. To watch how you walk is very important in your home, not to bang doors, not to bang things, in a negative, angry way, not to walk in an angry way. When you're walking gently, you're thanking Mother Earth. You are thanking her for this beautiful landing, foot, and just connecting with Mother Earth. So you can walk barefoot in your home. You can walk barefoot on the grass just to ground you. You can stand and you can just close your eyes and just into your mudra, meditation mudra, just stand and just ground yourself and just visualize light coming in from your crown chakra all the way, working through each and every chakra, and then down to your feet, and then back up again, around you into a crystal lattice, like a DNA molecule, working around you, and then out through your crown chakra again, finding that balance within you. Plants, you can use plants in your home. There's different plants that you can use for indoors. You can use the I have the aloe plants in my home. You can use the citrus plants, that if you're not allergic to any citrus products or the citrus smell, or your family members are not allergic, you can use that. A citrus indoor plant. You can use a Chinese money plant. You can use a plant called peony. I hope I'm saying it right, but you can Google what plants you want. And like Sister Jonita said, you can add beautiful color to your home with plants. So you can use plants to create a myriad of colors in your home. The other thing you could actually use is, in terms of grounding, is your murti, is your statues. If you have statues of Buddha, you want to have a statue of your deity. I call it murti, your deity. So it's very important whichever form you connect with. You want to have a cross, you want to have Mother Mary, you want to have Jesus. You can have a picture, you can have a you can have a picture, also pictures around you that helps you to focus your attention when you're doing a meditation and you are chanting. So that helps you as well to create this beautiful home of where you are going to do your meditation. One thing I really would advise you is try not to put your, well, for me personally, do not put your symbols of faith into the toilets, into where your feet is. Try to be respectful to your deities, try to be respectful to your pictures, try to be respectful to your books as well. That's also Feng Shui, how you're going to be using these instruments of energy, faith energy, to be able to guide you successfully. Make sure that your murtis are always above your belly button, so you're facing them face on eye level as opposed to below you. So always, how you place your murtis and where you place your pictures in your frames are very important as well. I want to then go on to Agni, which is fire. Purifying with fire. You can do Hawan or fire celebrations, we call it. With all different faiths, we've got to be cognizant of the faiths, and we call it fire ceremonies that I do with my yoga students of all different faiths. In the Hindu, we call it Hawan. You can light your candles while you are chanting. You can light your candles in your home to uplift the energies around you. Fire is very purifying. Many of you are Hindus. If you are Hindu and you're practicing Hindu, we use the fire around us. When we come from a hospital, or we come from a place where we've gone far abroad and we're coming back home, they welcome us into the home by doing an arati around us with fire, so that guiding us back into the home, whatever negative energies that we've carried now gets dispelled with the fire. And if you are in that kind of belief system, you can use the fire around you to cleanse, coming out of a hospital or coming out of from far travels. You're coming back into the home where you've been out of the home and you're coming back after a couple of days. You can do this whole arati around the person. Laban, Sister Janita spoke about sage, incense. You sage your home. It's called mpepu. A lot of people use mpepu. It's got lavender, sage, all of that comes together. And when you are using mpepu or sage, it's very important to go to each corner of the room, and then cleanse, turn it around, and then push the energy out. Over your bed, cleanse your bed. For peaceful sleep, cleanse around your bed, and then push the energy out towards the window. So that can help you as well. And then water for cleansing. Dehydrate yourself all the time. Drink water, purified water. Drink water, cleanse yourself. Keep hydrated. That's the first thing, is keep hydrated. Secondly, when you are cleansing, and Sister Janita mentioned this again, use salt. So take salt. What you could do is, you could take salt, rough salt in your hands, under your feet, just, rub it under your feet and just around you. Even in the Hindu tradition, we use salt. We turn salt around the person, and then we put the salt in water. And as the salt dissolves, whatever negative energies are around, it gets dissolved and it all goes out again. So you feel enlightened and you feel light again. So using salt. Bathing, taking salt baths, relaxing in essence, you know, whatever fragrance you want in oil essences into your bath water where it's dissolved in a salt. So you can have salt bath that really can cleanse you and cleanse your aura. And then, yes, basically, when you are wiping or you are mopping, to use water to mop and clean everything in your home. You can use salt in your water to mop. You can use plain water. You can use, vinegar in your water to cleanse, or you can use rose water. Whatever you feel that connects with you, you can use it in your home to cleanse your home. So having said that, you know, you've got your elements that you've used, you've looked at yourself holistically, you've energetically within yourself, you've cleansed yourself in terms of how you are connecting to yourself, in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your diet, in terms of your what you watch, your sense organs, you know, and then cleansing the environment around you. I hope that gives you a little bit of perspective and insights into what I've done in my home. It's the constant thing that you have to do to be able to balance yourself. I also use crystals with me. I use rose crystals with me. And when the full moon is out, it's the most beautiful time to take your crystals and leave it in the direction of the full moon. And I always do that, you know, I leave my stones and my crystals in the direction of the full moon, the light of the full moon to cleanse it, and just to give the vibration back again. Or if you feel you want to cleanse your crystals, and just, you know, you can put it into salt, Himalayan salt, or into, salt water. If they're not going to, if there's no metal on it, it won't cause it to rust. You can, you know, immerse it into salt as well. Those are some of the things that I do that helps me stay, you know, aligned with my energies and my environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anita. Really very useful and thoughtful hints that you have shared with us, and a beautiful energy. I love the way your energy and your vibration is come through. So thank you to both Janita and Anita. And now I'd like to invite our listeners, if there's any questions you have for either Janita or Anita, you could either unmute and ask your question, or you can put it in the chat. I see that Lakshmi has shared a comment. She said, I'm a dance teacher and I enjoy doing yoga and singing. Helps me to cope with challenges in life. I love nature, which relaxes me a lot. And also meditation helps me a lot connecting with the Supreme. Thank you, Lakshmi. Lovely comments. Lovely thoughts. Is there anyone that that would like to ask any questions? Please unmute, or otherwise you can type it in the chat. I think Janita and Anita did a great job, so everybody's and taken a lot from you, I'm sure. And doesn't seem like anybody has any questions. No. Okay. What I can then do is ask Janita to take us through a meditation. That would be lovely.
Sure. So thank you so much, Arunabin, and I really appreciate the wonderful tips Anita has shared with us. One or two I feel like inspired to start implementing, which I hadn't or wasn't mentally aware of. So I do encourage all of you who have tuned in today to really implement, if you haven't, some of the things that have been shared tonight, because it's going to make your place really special and precious as well. So let us all sit comfortably, relax, And just go, take a deep breath in. Perhaps just like how Anita had taught us, breathe deeply into your belly and exhale. Just become calm within. Allow yourself to let go of any thoughts for a while. Become free from any roles and responsibilities. And tune in to that point of light, the energy within the body. A being of peace and love. Now turning your attention even deeper on the screen of your mind. I want you to create an imaginary sacred space. You can give it whatever form or shape you wish. Maybe it's a nature scene, or a shrine, or a crystal palace. Whatever makes you feel like this is your getaway space. Now, within this space, we can create whatever color, texture, and fill it with whatever elements we would like. Maybe it's a little room, or just an open plan. Maybe you want to surround it with wind chimes. Or maybe you just want to leave it with candles. Maybe you want to put a soft cushion or sofa, or perhaps just have a swing. This is your space. Fill it with all the things that make you feel happy and peaceful. Remember that you can always change the furnishings, upgrade it, add or subtract things. But right now, the way you've created the room is your sacred space for you right now. Now, as you relax even more, absorb the radiance, the beauty, and experience the peace within. Feel how your soul is feeling lighter and empowered, recharged and rejuvenated. Even though your attention may be required elsewhere, having created this inner space, you can always return back to it. Wherever you may be, you can always tune in into your special sanctuary. Gently, you bring your consciousness back to your body, back to the room in which you are seated. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, Anita, for that beautiful meditation. And I'd really like to say a special thank you to both Janita and Anita for their time and being with us today and really sharing such beautiful tips of changing the vibrations of your home, of your body, of your mind, because all of that really is something that creates the harmony, the peace, the lightness. So from the elements to the mind, to the body, to everything that we do that creates that energy, that vibration, and that will really help us on our road to health and peace and live in harmony and cohesion. So thank you so much, Anita and Janita, for being with us today. And thank you to all that were on the program, all our participants. Thank you very much for your time. Have a beautiful evening and lovely comments from everyone that they enjoyed and had enjoyed the session. So thank you, sisters. Om Shanti, and have a very good evening. Take care and all the best for the new month tomorrow, the 1st of October. Hey?
Yes.
So we ended on a beautiful note of September. Take care. Om Shanti.
Okay.